My name is Braden Hill.
Josh Coppernoll.
Terry Cooper Jr.
Matt Egan.
Alex M. Phillips.
Cameron Caldwell.
And we are
Hillhaven Motorsports.
All right, so I'm here with my road racing teammates, Hussy and Trev of V3 Racing. Hey guys, how you doing?
It's good. It's good. I'm glad to be here. Always wanted to do a podcast, and I think as a startup podcast, this is going to be great.
And how about you, Trev? You've been quiet already.
Yeah, just listening to Hussy ramble on like usual. It's good.
Yeah, that's about right. All right, so wanted to talk to you guys. Tell me about like your iRating, specifically with road. For those who don't know, iRacing does separate your iRating between road and oval. So tell me about your iRating, where you got your first wins, how you got into iRacing and V3 Racing specifically. Hussy, you can go first.
Oh, okay. Well, I started iRacing 6 years ago, I think, or maybe 6 years ago, and my iRating now is 2100. Now, I don't do a lot of official racing, to be honest with you. More just special events with the team. But my first win was rookie class, and it was actually an oval race. It was my first ever race on iRacing. It was an oval race, and I was able to win my first ever race. My second win was at Okayama, I think it's called, in the Mazda MX-5.
Yeah. How about you, Trev?
I've been on for 2.5 years, I think now, maybe 3 years. And first win would have been, MX-5s at Laguna, I think. I think that was in my first or second race as well. iRating currently sitting at just under 2.8k, and I think I've maxed out my safety rating at the moment.
Yeah, so I wanted to talk to you guys because you guys are the first people I've had on here on the podcast who aren't from my team, Hillhaven Motorsports. So tell me about, I'll talk to you, Hussy, since you own the team. How did V3 Racing start, and what's your role in V3 Racing as the owner?
Okay, well, to start off, in the 6 years that I've done iRacing, it's been like a long-term relationship, but you've been taking breaks every once in a while. So, but there's the last couple of years, after watching in real life endurance events, I want to get my hands on it, and I wanted. And iRacing actually offers that with special events. So I've joined this team that, didn't really practice much for special events. So I've decided to make up a team essentially and gather drivers. And right now I think we have about 7 drivers so far. Maybe a little bit more, I'm not sure. I haven't counted. But we're all friends at the moment. We're not actually driving for the team. We're kind of becoming more than just driving. We're just becoming a family at this point. But yeah, I'm one of the starters for the team. I think I'm not sure if Mike is going to be on this podcast or not, but he also started the team with me after a big disappointment at our first ever endurance event, where two of the drivers that were on our team did not practice, and like they always say, if you don't practice, you don't succeed. And obviously they didn't, and that's how V3 Racing came about. Just and obviously it's been great so far, hopefully. And we look to continue in the future as well.
Yeah, so I actually want to take a quick step back, just so everybody knows. Each of you, go ahead, tell me where you're from, whichever one of you wants to go first.
Right. I am from Canada.
And you, Trev?
Canada, eh? I'm from Australia.
All right, mate.
Yeah. So they're not Americans, just to set the precedent. So Trev, tell me about like how you got into V3 racing, how you met Hussy, and what's it been like being part of the team.
So, yeah, if I go really, really far back, when Gran Turismo 4 first came out, there was like special events, and they had 24-hour events, and that was just like my goal. I just wanted to sit down with some mates and do a 24-hour race at Nürburgring or something like that. That was, I don't know, back in 2004-ish, 2005, and none of my mates were really into racing, let alone on a PlayStation or anything. So fast forward, got into iRacing, found out they did special events and endurance races, so just put a post out on the forums looking for a team. Had a couple of people message me, and then I think Hussy was the most active in replying, so I just joined that team. Worked out pretty well. Yeah.
Tell me about like V3 Racing's wins, achievements, stuff that you guys have accomplished in the last couple of years as a team.
Well, in the last year, because this team is just started essentially. This is our second year officially. Our first year actually started really, really well. I'm sure Braden, you'll agree as well. At Daytona, 24 hours, where we won our split, which again was a great feeling. It was amazing. And then at Sebring, we had two teams, and I think one team finished on the podium, the other team finished top 10. Again, great results, but not what we wanted. At Nürburgring, we finished first, which again was a great achievement, and nobody expected it because again, it was one of those races where just we got lucky essentially. Plus, we were consistent, and again, the setup was great, the car was great, and
we didn't run out of fuel either. That helped.
Right. I think the next race was Spa, Francorchamps. We had a lot of issues that race. Like, I got disconnected once in my stint. I had an incident up Radion, and I hit
Spinning
the wall.
in a straight line.
Yeah. Again, some say that the car blocked me, and some say that I just spun in a straight line. But we'll never know. But yeah, we finished on the podium at that race as well, P3, if I'm not mistaken. Road Atlanta was, yeah. I'll let maybe Trevor explain Road Atlanta to you. But I think overall, it's been a great year. And the most important part was meeting Trevor, meeting Mike, meeting just everyone, really. You, Braden. And again, I'm sure there's many more years to come for V3 Racing, and we just started, so we have great future ahead of us for sure.
Yeah, so I actually became part of V3 Racing as a livery designer. I saw Hussy post something on the forums and connected with him and made the first Porsche livery that you guys fell in love with, and I guess I've kind of been part of our little impromptu family ever since, one way or another.
Yeah, and I got to meet you at Daytona this year, which was great.
Yes, that was awesome. Let's actually talk about that more in the plans for Daytona 2021. So, for those of you who somehow don't know, if you don't follow endurance racing, every year there's a 24-hour race at Daytona Beach, the Daytona International Speedway, run by IMSA, and I actually got to meet Hussy and one of our sponsors, Oleg, and we were able to run around a little bit at Daytona. It was an awesome event. I actually wanted to hear some of your thoughts on the event itself, Hussy, and your enjoyment of it coming to the U.S.
Well, it's great. It just shows you that even though you're racing with someone, let's say for Trevor from Australia or Mike from the Netherlands or Darko from Serbia,
Serbia, not Siberia,
Whatever.
but
yeah, or you from US, it just shows that you can connect with each other because it's your interest, right? As long as you're doing something that you love, it doesn't matter, but you'll end up finding a way to meet that person. Again, I look forward for next year to meet Trevor and Mike. I think these guys, I've known these guys more than I've known you, Braden. So, but I'm sure I would love for you to come in so that way it's like at least half the team together. But yeah, the event itself was great, honestly. For the price you're paying for, you get so much. Plus, the US is great. The food was great. The racing was excellent. Very cold at night, so Trevor might struggle with that. Hence, he's from Australia. But yeah, I'm keen on seeing everyone next year for sure.
Trev, I know you have some plans to visit the U.S. Next year for the 24 Hours of Daytona. So tell me about that and like your plans to come over to the other side of the pond.
Yeah, so Brooke, my girlfriend, and I were doing like a 4-week trip going from the West Coast to East Coast. So a couple of days in Cali, Las Vegas, down to Miami, New York, Broadway, fitting the 24-hour race somewhere in the middle there. But yeah, saving every penny we can at the moment to make that happen.
Yeah, it sounds like a lot of fun for sure. So I'll ask you both if you have any like aspirations for the future, both for V3 racing and just like your sim racing career, and what plans you have for the future potentially. I'll ask Trev this question first before his mic dies.
Typical Australian equipment. No, I just want to increase my iRating a bit because I know I'm faster than what my iRating is, but I just need to be a bit more consistent. So, yeah, if I can get to 3.5k, I think I'd be pretty happy. But that's my short-term plans anyway.
What about V3 racing plans, Trevor?
Just keep swimming, man. Just keep doing my thing. Try not to rally cross at every event, and yeah.
Good.
Yeah, the beauty of being so close and being as a group for such a long time is we have a lot of inside jokes within the team, especially with all these endurance events. You have 24 hours straight of driving, and everybody's real tired, and it's just a recipe for funny crap to happen.
Yeah. Speak about being tired. How was your 24-hour spa, Braden?
Of course, we're bringing this up. So I had just worked Spa. It was my first ever endurance event. I got through my first 2 stints with Well, actually, no, that was my first endurance event. Period.
Okay.
And my first 2 stints, I think you can even agree to this, Hussy. I did pretty dang good. I ran like 5 or 6 laps within a tenth of each other, which is impressive when it's oval racing, much less road racing.
Yeah, but what happened during your whole race?
Yes, the whole race. So, to give precedent, I had just worked 2 12-hour shifts consecutively. So I was freaking exhausted. So after I got out of the car for my second stint, Hussy got in, and I decided that it would be a great idea to take a quick nap. And I set an alarm, and next thing I knew, I woke up and it was the morning, and Hussy had been in the car for like 5 hours, and then spun in a straight line.
Now, Trevor, I'll ask you this because you do a lot of endurance events.
Yeah.
Do you ever take naps in between your stints?
No.
Would you think it's a good idea to take naps in between your stints?
No.
Well, that answers that question.
Yep, there it is. Thank you, gentlemen. It's been great having you.
That settles that.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, since you said something about me spinning in a straight line, were you able to complete a lap around the Nürburgring?
Technically, yes. That just wasn't with the car in one piece.
towing doesn't count.
Yeah, towing doesn't count.
No, I made it around the first time when I got that quick repair. All right.
So to answer the question, you haven't made a lap around the Nürburgring in an official event or
Yes.
not official.
Yes. So
okay.
It was a winter event of the 24 hours of the Nürburgring, which I think we all can agree is the most difficult track in existence, other than maybe Isle of Man. And so
that's a motorcycle track.
Yeah, but it's still difficult. Okay. I had just gotten new pedals. I realized like 2 weeks afterwards that I didn't have. Yep. There's my excuse. The pedals were not set up correctly, which I discovered thanks to Stefan. But yeah, I wrecked twice. I was very unhappy with myself. Moving on.
Well, that's funny because you say about not setting up your pedals right at that race. But what happened at Daytona 24-hour race?
Yes. We're going to continue with the Braden messing up trilogy, shall we?
Well, you brought up the whole spinning in a straight line, right?
Well, yeah, it's fair. It's only fair. So
I'm staying quiet for a reason.
For the record, I can just cut all this out. So in the 24 hours of Daytona this year, not the year before when we won, this year, Trev's wheel broke in the middle of his stint.
Okay, yeah.
So poor Hussy, was
stuck in the car
driving
for
in
5
the car
hours
for like 5 hours. Again, this seems to be a theme. And I was out at a nice little sports bar with a couple of friends, just chilling, just talking, having a great time.
Right.
And I get a message from Trev on Discord that I needed to get into the car because Hussy was falling asleep. And so I drove what should have been a 45-minute drive I made in 30 minutes to relieve Hussy of his duties. Then, halfway, or not even halfway, I was only like 5 laps away from pitting. And in my second stint, I did fine my first 2 stints. And then at the end of the second stint, my pedals decided to dislodge from my rig. So, yeah, I have a bad record with these pedals, but, you know.
I think you have a bad record, period.
You know what? I'm an oval driver, right? You got to give you some credit. Yeah. It's fine. But now I have them all set up. I have several screws holding them in, so it is not going anywhere. I can rest assured.
I'm sure that will work great for your oval races coming up.
Yes, I've had several oval races. I won one last week, which was
that's good,
exciting and eventful. It's a bigger deal when you win an oval, just because like everybody's really good and the setups are all really good, so it's a lot more competitive, I guess.
Yeah. Now I have a question for both of you, Braden and Trevor. What is one thing about iRacing? Or actually, you know what? Let's open it up. Not say one thing, but what's something that you want to either bring back on iRacing or want to see on iRacing?
I'll let Trevor start with since he's being so quiet.
I'll start with Trevor, actually.
I'm thinking. I like how they've incorporated the drive-through penalty or stop-and-go penalty for the instant limits.
Yes.
So that's a step in the right direction, I think. They are making some good changes with the time model. It's not perfect, but they're getting there, and they've said that they're working on it even more, which is good. I don't know. I'd like to see multiple tire compounds and like limits on tires, so you only get X amount throughout a race. I think that'll tie in a bit more when the rain model gets released, which maybe is only a year away or so, 2 years.
For those who don't know, Trevor is kind of like our strategist on our team. He's like the big brains. So that's why he wants different tire compounds, and he probably, if racing had different fuel mixture, I think Trevor would want that too. in every car because Trevor likes to save fuel. Trevor likes to tell people to save fuel. Again,
Hussy doesn't like saving fuel.
it's his mindset is great that he's thinking about the end of the race, even though the race just started. But it's great. I respect that. I appreciate it. And when it works, I mean it works. Like the whole race, we're running in the top 3 because Trevor is always thinking about the end of the race and the best strategy for the team. Which again, a lot of respect for that. Thank you, Trevor. Yeah. Now to get back to the question.
But
No, there's no buts. There's no buts. There's no buts. Yeah, sometimes, you don't want to save fuel because you got people catching you and stuff. But hey, you got to do what you got to do. Just like in every sport.
Hussy's not butthurt or anything about saving fuel.
Nah, it's...
Or tires. Shall we discuss your tire situation?
I don't know what you're talking about. What's wrong with my tires?
We have a little bit of a joke within the team that Hussy is absolutely brutal on any sort of tires. Like, Mike or Trev, after a full stint, could have 80% of their tire tread left. Hussy would have like 60%.
We fixed that though, because Hussy had his wheel calibrated wrong. So
yes,
half a turn in real life was like 3 turns in iRacing. So it all looked normal until the apex, and then all of a sudden the steering wheel just winds on 3 turns of lock. So that we fixed that, and it's a lot better now for Hussy.
Like Hussy's had this wheel set up incorrectly for the last how many years?
6,
5.
Yeah.
There it is.
Well, I mean, did it fix it? Yeah. I mean, it's better, I guess. Yeah, but with this new tire model, it's kind of scary. But you got to practice. You got to be smooth. And I've been trying to do that every night. Just do laps, change my lines. Again, in my opinion, if you're struggling, let's say at a corner, you can't just keep taking the same line at the corner every single time. You just gotta try something new. If you know that you're struggling, you just gotta try something new. That's all, and that's what I've been trying to do.
Yeah, turn the wheel more, turn it less, more throttle, more brake, less throttle, less brake. Mix it up, see what you're doing wrong.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I got nothing bad, and I got nothing to say there because I had to have issues with my tires for some. I don't know why.
Brayden, what do you want to see in iRacing, or what are you happy with?
Right now, I'm really happy with the new damage model. It's really cool, especially with more of the solid body cars getting it. It's just awesome to see a lot more realistic damage than just, oh, you hit the wall, you now have a crinkled fender.
As long as you don't hit the turtle curbs at Charlotte.
Yes. If you hit the turtle curbs at Charlotte at the Roval, you will die.
Yeah, the second you touch it, it's like a solid wall and it flips you into the air. It's fantastic.
It is really funny to look at. If you have a chance, look it up on YouTube. It's spectacular. But things that I want to see brought back, it has a little bit less to do with iRacing and more to do with the real world, with NASCAR with the low downforce package. The cars are so much more fun to drive when it's like that, and it's not just flat out racing half the time, because we have so much damn downforce to where it's basically Daytona and Talladega at every racetrack. And when that happens, you have idiots coming up to the front who can't really drive, thinking that they can, and it just makes it it ends up being a crapshoot and requiring no skill. So I'd like to see them bring that package back in iRacing.
Do you know what I'm actually really enjoying at the moment on iRacing is the AI. It's
really?
Actually I've used it a lot more than I thought I would. Yeah.
Huh. Now, what do you do with it? Like, do you just practice with them at a track you don't know?
Yeah, so I mean, obviously, when you're racing online with other people, I mean, some people don't take care, but I'm as cautious as I can be. I don't want to ruin someone else's race, so you kind of hold back a bit. But with the AI, you can just send it like 3 deep into turn 1 and there's no consequences. And you can restart 10 times if you want. So it's good to just like have a bit of fun and just send it every single corner. It's great.
I mean, for me, I gotta say, what I want iRacing to bring back is every couple of years they introduce like a new F1 car, but they always forget about it. They had the FW13 or the Williams car, and then they brought the McLaren Honda, but they just don't update the car, and the series is always dead. I mean, I watch a lot of F1. I like the car. Not much so the newer cars, because there's a lot of things to manage, and some people don't have the buttons on the wheel for that, so it's kind of hard for them to do that. But if they just bring the F1 series back, I want to see it. It's great cars, a lot of downforce.
I think that's just a licensing thing. So at the moment, obviously, iRacing are buddied up with Porsche and BMW, so we'll see a lot of content from those manufacturers. Previously, they had deals with Williams, which is why we got that, and then McLaren, they had their esports tournament, and now it's moved on to Porsche and Bimmer.
Just to show you, everything is money nowadays. But what I want to see in the future, in terms of endurance, is rain. I think rain and realistic repair damage model thing.
Oh yeah, realistic repairs for sure.
Yeah, that's something I want to see for sure. And rain, again, I think will spice the endurance events, but it has to be realistic too. Like you can't have rain at well, actually, all the special events they do, there is rain. Well, no, you can't have rain at Road Atlanta or Sebring. You know, it just doesn't make sense. But you can see it at Spa. Like one part of the track is wet, the other part is dry. There's always that strategy of which team is gonna pit first for the wets, and which team is gonna stay on the dry and risk it. I think that will be a huge factor in racing. Okay.
Yeah. Trev sending pictures in the chat of Sebring with rain just to prove Hussy wrong.
All right.
So
you were quick on that, Trevor. I must say that was very good.
That was very impressive.
Yeah. What did you type? Just Sebring in the rain, or what?
Picture. It's got Sebring logo in the background and an LMP car.
Yeah, there it is. It is. All right.
Well,
so something a little bit more. Yeah, there it is. Something a little bit more controversial, and we've had a lot. I know you guys can't see what's happening, but Trev is currently. We record this in Discord, and Trev is currently just sending pictures of Road Atlanta and Sebring in the rain just for the sake of proving Hussy wrong. It's spectacular. This is how the team works. Back to the subject. So with the iRacing March build has come what we call NTM7, which is iRacing's 7th iteration of the tire model.
I don't think Trevor needs rain to get off the track. He can do that in the dry too.
Okay, play nice. All right, play nice. I'm trying to ask a question. Okay.
Yeah.
Good lord. All right. So, guys. All right. So NTM7, good, bad. What are your opinions on it? Because there have been a lot of varied opinions and people complaining, people praising it. In the iRacing community, so what are your opinions? I'll start with you, Trev, since you're so quick to prove Hussy wrong.
I think it's a good foundation, but it's not right. So I'm trying to think of a good not anagram, but a good example of a real life situation.
Analogy? Is that what you're going for?
Analogy. That's the one.
The
one. So everything.
Is it me or Trevor's voice just changed?
Its voice suddenly got deeper.
I was like, wait, what?
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. What just happened?
Suddenly
Sounds like your balls just dropped just now.
Gee.
I'm a late bloomer, all right.
But seriously, I can't take you serious right now with that voice.
I'm talking normally.
Shut up, Hussy. What is?
So, Time Model 7, which they're not calling Time Model 7 anymore, it's a good foundation. I think it's a step in the right direction. It's just not perfectly dialed in, but from what I've read, the way they've made it now, it should be easier to adjust it to make it good, but it's not good at the moment.
That is not your...
Hussy, get over it.
Okay. Well, my opinion on the new tire Model 7 is one word. Well, it's inconsistent. It varies between each car, which you don't think it should. Sometimes you don't get a force feedback from one car versus the other one. Driving the Ford versus the Ferrari, for example, Ford just, you could not drive it at a turn one into any track, and then the Ferrari, all of a sudden, you can actually do it, but not as quick, and it builds up grip from there. But it seems like it's not consistent. I know every car drives differently, but if you're on the same tire compound, you're supposed to get that same feeling given to you by your force feedback in the wheel back to you. It just doesn't make sense to me. So, yeah, that's all I gotta say. It's inconsistent. That's all.
I wish we could have Mike here just to hear his answer to this question.
Yeah, well,
because Mike seems to feel the strongest about this of all of us.
I just don't think Mike likes change.
Yeah, I could make an American political joke here, but I'm refraining myself.
The thing that bugs me is the Porsche, like the 911 Cup. It's an amazing car, but I just don't understand how you can drive in a straight line and it's just weaving left to right, no matter what toe angles and camber and everything you set. It's just it's so swervy. And I've driven real life race cars on slicks. Admittedly not a rear engine car, but they don't weave like that when they're cold or hot.
Yeah, they're definitely a fun car that iRacing has made slightly less fun. Let's talk about some of the events that are upcoming in iRacing. The biggest, closest one is the 12 Hours of Sebring, which is an IMSA event in real life. And iRacing is bringing that to the sim. So, do you guys have any plans for the 12 Hours of Sebring?
Yeah, I think the team will have two cars. They are both racing the BMW M8. Again, we worked on the setup, but then a week before the race, they've decided to change to the new tire model, which I think is a little bit, surprise to everyone, I guess you can say. Because now they have to work from scratch again, because any setup that you've done will simply not work with the newer model. But they always say, the only thing in life that stays the same is change. So, you just got to keep going.
That was very philosophical
there.
Yeah. All right, Trev, how about you?
Sebring. Plan is to not steal my teammate's car like I did last year, and also try not to run out of fuel. If I can do those two things, I'll be pretty happy.
Yeah, and then after Sebring, the next event is 24 Hours of the Nürburgring, right? Or is it Spa first?
I mean, for Trevor, I think if you cannot do great things, do small things in a great way.
Now you're getting really philosophical. Man,
what did you just type into Google, Hussy?
What do you mean? I did not type anything.
Put this man in front of a camera, he will get deep.
I think the best way to create your future... Wait, fuck, I fucked that one up. Never mind. Oh yeah, I didn't fuck it up. Hold on. The best way to predict your future is to create it, Trevor. That's right.
You're done?
Yeah. I think so.
It's like those quotes that you see them post on like Instagram with like a picture of
Of
Albert
a sunset or something.
Albert Einstein or
Oh.
something, and it's like a dream is something, 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 and it's something that Albert Einstein definitely never said, but for some reason they decide to.
Well, this one is of a sunset, so. I don't know
so you are looking at pictures with quotes on them.
Of course. I can't come up with that shit. Usually, the
I
quotes
knew
that I
it.
come up with are either too sexual or they don't make sense to the point where it confuses everyone.
More often than not, the latter.
Yeah.
When did this turn into the like deep philosophical thinking podcast?
Well, I'm giving motivational speech to everyone listening.
Okay, so Hussy, we're going to give you, this is a new segment, we're going to give you 2 minutes to give the most inspirational speech you possibly can. Ready, set, go.
Well, what is it about? Is it about iRacing?
Just life.
Life.
How to
life
succeed
advice.
in life. Give everyone at
life
home
advice.
life advice. It is a new segment of the show. It's Hussy's life advice.
I think if life knocks you down, you have to get up, take the beating, just fight it back. A lot of things in life you don't agree with, but you just got to keep going and figure a way where you can just simply overcome the pain that it produces. Once you overcome the pain, you'll become immune to pain. So, yeah, I got nothing. That's it. I think I had a.
I feel like I should go out and get a new job that pays more now.
No. That whole time I was thinking about Hussy getting like pit lane penalties for speeding and crashing into the wall turn 1 in Daytona pits.
That was a long time ago. The pit lane thing wasn't long ago.
The Nürburgring 24? Hussy, box this lap.
Yeah, well, I did box the lap, but it's just that.
No, I just love it. Like, I think we all reminded you, don't speed, and you're like, no, it's fine, I've got this. And then you got a penalty 5 seconds later.
I don't know how that happened, to be honest with you.
Be careful on entry. The spotter immediately says, "You've got a penalty. You need to fit in this lap."
Commentator's curse.
I paid for the shitty way because I had to double stint at the Nürburgring, which is no fun. So.
Oh yeah, that's right, because you got a penalty. Okay, that's one thing I think iRacing needs to fix. So you get a penalty and you exit the car and your teammate gets in, the penalty won't get served.
Yeah.
So like the driver who gets the penalty has to stay there and serve it until it's gone. I reckon that's BS.
Well, I think Mike was just worried that it would be a glitch. That's all. So we didn't want to risk it.
No, but it does actually happen.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think, I can't remember which race we had it at, but one of us had to stay in the car because, the penalty didn't go away.
Wait.
Oh, I think it was at...
It must be Sebring because I wasn't there.
No, it was a hosted race.
Oh, okay.
And I remember I had to PM it was the Nürburgring one where we did there was a qualification race.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And I had to PM the admins to clear the black flags.
That's right. I remember that. Do you remember that one time we got the extra repair for some reason? It still didn't matter. But
remember hitting a wall because you got bitten by a spider?
Oh.
Dude, my ankle is still nasty from that. So, I'm like an Australian version of Jimmy Broadbent, not as quick, but I've got my sim set up in a shed in Australia, and I actually got bitten by a spider and put it in the wall. It was not good.
Fun story, huh? All right. Anything else you guys want to talk about, rant about? Anything fun?
Make sure you follow us on Twitch at V3 Racing. Subscribe to us on YouTube at V3 Racing, and make sure you also follow us on Facebook. Again, V3 Racing.
If you can't spell that,
as well.
we have an issue.
Oh yeah, we're on Instagram. Yeah.
Get all the plugs in there. Get them.
V3 Racing, our Instagram page. We give updates when we go to real life events. We post on there too. Sometimes we do have giveaways. Sometimes, but yeah.
If you see us on the track, say hi.
Oh yes,
Preferably not
absolutely.
with like a punch, but say g'day to us.
We're always looking for more drivers to have more teams. We always want to get that name out there, V3 Racing. It's just our start of our second year, and we're looking to grow. I want to take this whole team into territories that I've always dreamt with. Yeah, and also huge thank you to iRacing, iFlag, and Tune to Mod, our main sponsors. Yeah, iFlag has been great, and our new sponsor, Tune to Mod Performance. If you use code V3 Racing on iRacing iFlag, you get 15% off. All right, that's
there you
great.
Go. Well done, Hussy. Well done.
Yeah, thanks. You've
Any
been a great
other
host.
motivation for us?
No, it's great. I think you've been a great host, Braden.
Thank you.
The podcast is great. I just don't get why you called it "Hold My Beer" when there's no beer here. But yeah, it's all good.
It's okay. When you come down to the U.S. the next time, I'll buy you a beer.
Yeah, hopefully you don't.
Are you old enough to do that yet?
It's fine.
Wait, hold on a second. When you were at the bar during the Daytona 24-hour race, you said you were drinking, right?
No, I wasn't drinking. I was watching.
Yeah, that's great. And you were driving? Or did you take a cat?
Yes, I was driving because I don't drink because I'm only 17.
That's
and
right.
Also, my mother listens to this podcast, so don't get into it too much.
Hi, Braden's mom.
Yes, my mom listens to or watches the live streams of the events on Twitch and is always messaging Hussy on my back.
Yeah, Hussy and your mum are BFFs.
Yeah, great supportive. Just like Brooke, actually. You know what? I gotta give a shout out to Brooke. Honestly, she is the best fan out there. Sam, let's say. She's always there in the first couple of hours of the race because Trevor is always up at that time. And she's always there at the end of it. Always says, she's always just there, period. So I gotta give shout out to Brooke. She's been awesome. So Brooke, if you're listening, I doubt it, but thank you.
We'll have to send the podcast to her specifically. Alrighty, well, it's been awesome having you guys here. I'm sure we'll talk some more. In the
I got
future.
one thing for Trevor.
All right, hit me.
Trevor, thank you for being on our team. I appreciate you. I love having you on the team. You're always a good person to talk to. And again, jokes aside, I love having you on the team.
We love you, Trev.
My mouse was hovering over the disconnect button that whole time. You're disgusting.
Oh, man.
Nah, you're good, man.
We should just keep talking about random BS and just keep recording, and I could just put little sound bites in of us laughing at each other and making stupid jokes.
No, I think my food is already burning right now, so it's all good. Just I'm still
Hussy,
here.
it's 10 p.m. You should have eaten already.
I just finished work like an hour ago.
What time do you guys work till?
At 9. Till 9.
Aren't you at a dealership?
Yeah.
What dealership's open at 9 p.m. on a Monday night?
Our dealership. I mean, yeah, our dealership tend to open.
Is that normal?
I think so, yeah. In here, it's normal.
Man, I can't even go to the groceries at 9 p.m.
What?
Yeah, our shops close at like 5 p.m.
Oh, you live in like the middle of nowhere, Australia, though? I almost said Alaska. Australia?
He's in Perth, man. I don't think that's in the middle of nowhere.
It is the most isolated city in the world.
Oh.
Nice.
Well, maybe that's why.
But it's not really that small. Like, it's still a decent city.
You know what's funny? Actually, hold on. I will never forget the first race I did with Trevor at 24 Hours Le Mans, and I didn't know
Was this the Winter Le Mans?
No, 24 Hour of Le Mans. Sorry, the official one. The first ever race I did with Trevor. I don't know if he remembers, with Stefan, Mike, and I think Jill. That was it.
Yeah, Giles, yeah.
And what does Trevor do as soon as the race ends? He, on the voice chat on Discord, this guy's ordering KFC.
Yeah, I had to go through the KFC drive-thru before it closed because everything closes really early.
But again, you are on Discord and we can hear you order your food.
Yeah, we can hear you drink your water.
Oh,
don't reach for it.
I don't have my wall of water on.
Good,
sorry.
Good. That drives me insane.
All right.
All right. Well, it's been great having you guys. Anything else funny you want to say that I can put in here?
Nah, this podcast would go on forever.
Alrighty. Well, thank you everybody for listening. Thank you guys for being on. Don't forget to check out our other episodes on Spotify and YouTube, and follow us on all the social media, all the good stuff, Twitter, Instagram, all the good stuff. Hillhaven Motorsports, V3 Racing. Hope you all have a good week. Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.